My main concern is that the business is currently running their business through a web application. This puts the employees' personal data at risk as they must use their own personal devices to access the internal application and storage servers. This could potentially put employees' connection at risk from a man-in-the-middle attack. This is because it is not mentioned whether the connection to the server is end-to-end encrypted. The internal servers are also an issue as they have a limited capacity and will cost money to add additional storage space. This will bottleneck the amount of users and data the server can hold at any given time. This is a hindrance for the business's expansion. Another concern would be the servers themselves. From the context, we can assume that each employee has a personal account for the network that allows them to upload and transfer data to the servers. This is a data risk as personal information must be stored in a secure manner and the employees should also consent to this. This allows the business to comply with GDPR. Another major concern would be involving zero trust architecture. What is zero trust architecture? Zero Trust is a strategic initiative that helps prevent successful data breaches by eliminating the concept of trust from an organization's network architecture. The business's network should be configured with this principle in mind to prevent all users within the network from being trusted to access all the data. Currently, the business is storing employee information on its servers. From the context, we are unsure how the server is configured and if there are security measures in place to prevent unlawful access to the businesses and employee information, as well as if there are measures in place to prevent employees accessing information above their position, such as employee payroll information and business expenditure. Ddosh attacks, also known as a distributed denial of service attack, is when a malicious attempt is made to flood the network of a person or business with internet traffic that will overwhelm the infrastructure to the point where it is almost unusable. This attack can be prevented by having a firewall and a dynamic IP address where the public IP address of the network changes periodically. This prevents people from knowing the IP address of the network and performing the attack. Another concern would be data redundancy and backups. There is no current system in place within the business for backups and data recovery. This is a concern currently, as any physical damage to the server, such as a fire or a flood, could destroy all the data from the server and therefore the business would lose everything. An example of a fix for this would be to implement an off-site backup, as this would allow for data recovery after an incident happened and data was lost. Azure Network Security provides the business with network security groups which allow the filtering of network traffic to and from Azure resources. This is beneficial for this use case as different users can have different access to resources. A network security group is made up of inbound and outbound security rules which each have a specific source and destination. This allows the admin to control which users have access to which resources. Azure Firewall will provide the business with a secure layer of protection when accessing the Azure service, and it will filter incoming and outgoing traffic within the network to provide prevention against malware and viruses spreading, suspicious network traffic including DDoS attacks, and access to untrusted applications or websites. Active Directory is a cloud-based identity verification system which allows employees to sign into their accounts and access data securely. They will also have access to their resources such as Microsoft 365, the Azure portal, and SaaS applications. Microsoft Azure is a cloud-based platform that allows you to run and manage applications easily with a framework of your choice. However, this solution may be riskier as data redundancy cannot be certain. This is because the data would be held on third-party servers at Microsoft and not stored locally on your network. However, a benefit to this approach is that the data would be stored in multiple locations. This means that data can be recovered if it is lost, and there will be minimal impact to the business as their operations should be able to carry on as normal. What is needed for this solution? Microsoft account with a subscription to Azure, primarily for storage. However, This would be at the risk of the business, as cloud storage can be unreliable and any issues with Microsoft servers will result in your consumers experiencing problems such as slowdowns and data loss. Encryption would also need to be configured for all files stored on Microsoft servers, as they would be able to view the data, which breaches GDPR, as you could be storing confidential information or user details.